Okay, students, so we were doing chapter number 5 and we have completed in last session about the factors which are important or which contribute the process of healing, right? And we have also completed the ethics in psychotherapy. Now, two subtopics are there. One is the alternative therapies and the second one is rehabilitation of the mentally ill. So let us take the first topic, alternative therapies. Now, what all come under this? Whenever we talk about alternative therapy, so we are clear with the general kind of treatment, the very obvious, the very common kind of treatment is what we have discussed. One is the drug, the medicine treatment, which prescribed by various psychiatrists in case of any mental disorder or any mental ailment. So this is a very common procedure, very common kind of treatment in which various drugs and medicines are prescribed. The other one which we have discussed in this chapter in quite detail about various kind of psychotherapies, right? The psychotherapies we have done about psychodynamic, behavior therapy, humanistic existential therapy, cognitive therapies, gestalt therapy. So these were some of the therapies that we have discussed. Now, apart from these two general procedures or treatment, what is the third very important and which is very much, you can say, getting popularity nowadays, which is also providing a very effective kind of treatment. These alternative therapies comprises of many kind of techniques. Let us start. There are some of the techniques you already know about yoga. Everyone knows what is yoga, about meditation, about acupuncture technique in which various kind of points are pressurized. In some kind of acupuncture, needles are even used, and in other kinds of acupuncture, simply pressures are given by the therapist with the help of his or her fingers on the various points on the patient's body. Apart from these, herbal remedies are there. Lots of herbal remedies are there. But nowadays, various kind of other alternative therapies, various kinds of techniques which are gaining popularity is about SKY, that is Sudarshan Kriya Yoga. We'll talk about it later. Then there is Kundalini Yoga, that is also very important. But let us start with a very brief, with a very common terms, and we will be discussing it in quite brief manner. What are they? The difference between yoga and meditation. See, yoga and meditation, all you people have done this. In our school also, in the morning session, we used to do certain meditation procedures, right? So what is the basic difference between yoga and meditation? See, in yoga, it is commonly called, or it is refers to the asana and body postures, right? In yoga, we are performing various kind of body postures. We are doing many kind of asanas, and in this we take help of breathing practices or pranayama, right? And sometimes both the things. Fine, we are doing a certain asana also, and we are also paying attention to our breathing practices. And in some asana only the posture is important, not the breathing practices, or you can say pranayama. Pranayama is related to the breathing practices. Now, what is meditation then? Meditation refers to the practice of focusing attention on breath or on an object or thought or a mantra. So got the thing? Meditation is what? To focus your attention, to concentrate on something by, switching off all the other irrelevant thoughts. Just by focusing, there are many things. You can focus on any object, you can focus on any kind of thought, you can focus on any kind of mantra, or you can even focus on your breathing pattern. So What is the difference between yoga and meditation? In meditation, the focus of attention is very important. And in yoga, we are performing certain kind of body postures or asanas, and we are also simultaneously performing the breathing practices or pranayama, right? This is about yoga and meditation. Now let us start discussing the very important technique and very new technique for all of you. The short form is SKY, which means Sudarshan Kriya Yoga. What is it? These are the rapid breathing techniques to induce hyperventilation. See, under this technique, what happens? The breathing pattern is very rapid, that is very fast. And second important, why there is a fast breathing technique or a fast breathing pattern? To induce hyperventilation. Hyperventilation of what? The hyperventilation of all the negative energy from your body, all the negative thoughts out of your body. Hyper means in a very restless manner. Ventilation, to get all these negative energy, thought and emotion just throw them out of your body, right? Now, what are the other features of this technique? That it is very beneficial, it is effective, it is low risk. Risk is not there, not much risk is there, low cost, and it is very effective in many kind of disorders. See, they have given some name. Basically, this technique is practiced in disorders related to stress, anxiety, the PTSD, the post-traumatic stress disorder, the depression, and substance abuse, and even rehabilitation of criminal offenders. So various kind of disorders are there in which this technique is proving really beneficial. It is very low cost, it is not very costly, and low risk means that much of your physical or mental things are not affected. There is no risk that something will affect the physical, be related to physical part of your body, be related to the mental state. It is a very low risk kind of technique. You can give some of the example of the disorders. Now, SKY has been used as a public health intervention technique to alleviate PTSD in survivors of mass disasters. So they are specially specifying this. So it is very much effective in treating the post-traumatic disorder survivors, right? Now, yoga techniques enhances well-being, mood, attention, mental focus, and stress tolerance. So these are certain benefits which we get after practicing any yoga technique. What are the benefits? We get in a very good mood, our attention increases, our focus, our mental focus increases, the tolerance for stress, the tolerance for to deal with the challenges of the life increases after practicing certain yoga techniques. Now, what is the procedure? A very brief introduction. Proper training by a skilled teacher and a 30-minute practice every day will maximize the benefits. So first of all, just get it trained by any trainer in a well manner, and then 30 minutes every day you require it to practice to get the maximum benefits. Now, NIMHANS, this is a very renowned institution in India, the National Institute of Mental Health and Neurosciences, right? Especially NIMHANS are present in many cities, but Bangalore, the one which is situated in Bangalore, it is considered a very renowned institution. And this kind of institution, used to perform various kind of researches, various kind of experiments to get the things to formulate various kind of policies and principles related to mental health and neurosciences. So NIMHANS has shown that SKY reduces depression. Now, another thing, that this technique is equally effective in reducing the depression also. With various researches, with various results, NIMHANS has reached upon conclusion that this technique is equally effective in reducing depression. Fine. To be more specific, that insomnia is also treated with yoga. People who are having difficulty in sleeping, right? So your sleep patterns will also get improved by performing various kind of yoga. Now the last technique is Kundalini Yoga, taught in the USA, has been found to be effective in treatment of mental disorders. Now this is also a kind of new technique related to yoga, obviously. Kundalini Yoga is what? It is effective in the treatment of obsessive compulsive disorder. They have given particularly the names of disorders in which these techniques are proving effective, right? Kundalini Yoga में क्या होता है? That it combines pranayam or breathing techniques with chanting of mantras. So two things are there, that breathing practices are there and it is taking place simultaneously with chanting of mantras. So you can you can say that focus of attention is also there, and we are simultaneously practicing various kind of breathing practices also, right? So it is a combination of breathing practices along with chanting of mantras. Prevention of repeated episodes of depression may be helped by mindfulness-based meditation or vipassana. This is also another technique which is related to it, this Kundalini Yoga only. And what is it? Vipassana. It is also a kind of meditation, mindfulness meditation. Now, what is it? When we talk about mindfulness-based meditation, which is also known as vipassana, under this technique, what happens, children? A patient or a normal person even is concentrating on something, and as it takes place in meditation, he or she is focusing on something, be it any object, be it any mantra, be it any idea, be it any image, right? So you are concentrating on a particular thing, and it is also mainly done by focusing your attention on your breathing pattern, how you are breathing, whether you are exhaling, whether you are inhaling, what is the speed, right? How many times you have done, you have to count even sometimes. So basically you are focusing your attention on something. This is known as mindfulness meditation or vipassana. This meditation would help the patients to process emotional stimuli better and hence prevent biases in the processing of these stimuli. Now, up till we have studied, you are able to locate the causes of distress. Why it is arising mainly of the emotions, right? There are various kind of emotional stimuli present in our environment, right? And we, get affected by it very easily. Persons who are emotional, very sensitive, they face quite a lot of kind of personalities. So what these techniques help us to take these emotional stimuli in a better way. We can process it. We can understand the things in a better way, and it prevents biases in the processing of these stimuli. So biases means that we prevent thinking it from our point of view, right? Why there are certain problems arising because we look at various stimuli from our point of view, from our thinking. And that could be distorted thinking, that could be irrational thinking, that could be illogical thinking. So what these techniques are teaching you, that please look at the things from a very rational point of view. Don't apply your own biases or your own distorted thinking into it. Fine. So alternative therapies, the difference between yoga and meditation, then please give some example. After it, you're going to explain about Sudarshan Kriya Yoga, which is known as SKY or SKY also, how it is practiced, what all disorders it used to treat, name them, also name enhance that it has concluded that SKY is very much effective in reducing depression and insomnia. Right? In the last, explain about Kundalini Yoga and the Vipassana or mindfulness based meditation. So this is all about the alternative therapies, right? Now the last subtopic of this chapter is rehabilitation of the mentally ill. Now we have talked about the the causes of the distress. Now, after that, we have also discussed about various therapies we could give to these patients. And also we talk about the factors, the ethics, the alternative therapies. Now, the last important thing, rehabilitation of the mentally ill, which is a very important step. Sometimes we do not give much stress. We do not focus upon this step. We just treat the patient and we forget about the patient. But the very important thing, rehabilitation of the mentally ill, what is it all about? The treatment of psychological disorders has two components. See, any kind of treatment of any kind of disorder, it has two components. The first one is what? Reduction of symptoms. We try to reduce the symptoms of the disorder. What is the second one? Improving the level of functioning or quality of life. If we are reducing the symptoms of any disorder, what will be the obvious second component? That somewhere we are, increasing the quality of life and we are improving the level of functioning of that person in his daily life. So these are two important components. Now, what is important next? That in case of milder disorders जो कम इंटेंसिटी के डिसऑर्डर्स हैं, जो बहुत माइल्ड है, जैसे एंजाइटी, जनरलाइज्ड एंजाइटी, which is often experienced by everyone, each one of us. Generalized anxiety हो गया, reactive depression हो गया, phobias are there. So in this, what is happening? Reduction of symptoms are also there after applying any therapy, right? And it is also associated with an improvement in the quality of life. The patient, the person recovered also, and it somewhere improved his quality of life. Now the standard has raised, and it has improved his basic functioning of life. Now, what happened in case of severe mental disorders? We talked about milder disorders, right? अब जो severe mental disorder है, जैसे such as schizophrenia, reduction of symptoms may not be associated with improving in quality of life. So you have got the difference that in milder disorders, what is happening? Quality of life is also there after the reduction of symptoms. Now, what is happening in severe mental disorder, as we have discussed about schizophrenia, इसमें क्या हो रहा है? Reduction of symptoms तो फिर भी चलो, it is possible to a very small extent, very minor extent, but after that, quality of life or improvement of life is not possible. Why? Because many patients suffer from negative symptoms such as disinterest and lack of motivation to do work or to interact with people. The reduction of symptoms are there, but still these people are not ready to mix up with others in the society. They show disinterest, and they also show lack of motivation for any work, be it related to their profession, be it related to their any work related to their household. They are not at all motivated to do any kind of activity, any kind of work. So this proves, this imposes certain problems or hurdles in getting their quality of life improved. Rehabilitation is required to help such patients become self-sufficient, right? See, in milder patient, what is happening? That it is associated, reduction of symptoms is associated with an improvement in the quality of life. But in severe mental disorders, the reduction of symptoms may not be associated with the improvement of quality of life. As I given the example that these people show disinterest, lack of motivation to do any work, and they are also not interested in interacting with people in the society. So rehabilitation is required to help such patients become self-sufficient. And the aim of the rehabilitation is what? To empower the patient to become a productive member of society to the extent possible. What is the aim of the rehabilitation? To make that patient a productive member of the society to the extent possible, means to the maximum you can say possibility. But how can a patient of such a severe mental illness be productive? what they mean by productiveness. In rehabilitation, the patients are given occupational therapy, social skills training, and vocational therapy. Got the thing now? See, they cannot live like a common person, like a normal person. They cannot do higher cognitive jobs. They cannot study. They cannot get higher degrees. But yes, they can earn their living in some cases. See, in all kind of schizophrenia, it is not possible. In the milder forms, it is possible. In the severe forms, the patient is not able to take care of himself even. But in milder forms, or in some by applying some therapies, if the reduction of symptoms are there, so that person, that schizophrenic patient, could get some occupational therapy, or could get some vocational therapy, or he could get some social skill training. You must have seen, like, they used to make candles, they used to make cards, they used to make statues, images, right? So these are simple things, making paper bag by weaving certain things. So they first of all try to gain a discipline in their life. By doing all these things, they work for certain hours during a time. This keep them busy also, and the other thing, it is also supporting them financially. So basic things in which much mental processes are not required. So under this, they are getting therapies which are related to various kind of occupation, various kind of vocations, and various kind of social skills are there. Now, social skills training helps the patient to develop interpersonal skills through role play imitation and instruction. See, as a prime feature of this disorder, these kind of people are not ready to mix up with other persons in society. But by giving them social skill training, so under this training, what kind of techniques are there? Role play imitation and instruction. Sometimes they properly instruct a person how to behave, how to do certain things in a properly organized manner. And in the some other thing, the role playing technique is there, role playing imitation is there, that they are shown a certain role model playing an important role or playing any kind of role, and in the same manner they have to imitate that person, right? So through social skill training, what they are teaching them, the basic interpersonal techniques, the interpersonal skills which is required. The objective is to teach the patient to function in a social group. Mainly, what is the objective? To just teach them how to behave in a social group, how to behave with other persons in the society. Cognitive retraining is given to improve the basic cognitive functions of attention, memory, and executive function. Cognitive retraining is also given just to teach them the basic cognitive function, be it related to their attention, to increase their attention in some manner, to increase their focus, and to increase also their memory. And executive functions, how to conduct various kind of activities into their daily life, how to execute different kind of things, different kind of functions in their life. So this is all taught under cognitive retraining. After the patient improves sufficiently, vocational training is given, wherein the patient is helped to gain skills necessary to undertake productive employment. Now, vocational training is given when at a point where the patient improves sufficiently. He has shown certain signs, improved signs, and now he is ready to get any vocational training which is also helping or enhancing his occupation. So various kind of vocational skills are there. These persons are get to know about those training, about those skills, and thereafter they can improve their quality of life by doing all kind of small jobs and by becoming productive in the society. Yes, ma'am, please stop with the recording. Yes, come on the screen, everyone.